PHNX Sun Devils show.
Oh, no.
I'm Anthony Totri. This guy right up here, his name is Big Pokey, also known as Shane Dieffenbach. We got DJ Caroline behind the mat today.
DJ Caroline.
Pushing all the buttons and making the magic happen. Guys, do us a solid if you're new here. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Also, if you're listening on audio for the first time, drop a 5-star review. Let us know what you like about this podcast. Maybe something you want to see in the future. Shane, before we get into everything Kenny Dillingham ASU football related, how you doing, man? This is honestly my favorite. Stop it. You stop that right now. My favorite fit that you have, like, you probably own, to be honest with you.
It is a good one. For those listening on audio, it's just a jersey that says sports. On the back, it says sports team.
And the hat, you got an all-star? Is that a Mario?
No, it's a matching hat. It's the same piece, actually.
Really? It looks like a Mario star, though.
Yeah, it does. I think it's supposed to replicate it.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
It's very fun. So I'm just hoping everybody has fun today, except for the teams I bet against. I hope they have a terrible day.
Yeah, FAU, they didn't have very fun.
Yep, and that was very fun for me.
Yeah, well, meh.
Do you know what Stetson's mascot is?
Bennett.
The Hatters.
Excuse me?
The Hatters.
The Hatters?
Mm-hmm.
So that's Eric Ruby's team.
Yeah. He's not wearing a hat today, guys.
He's not. Yeah, Donald, you should go grill him in Discord because he's not wearing a hat. And Eric Ruby, I just want everybody to know, he's a fraud.
Oh.
He's a fraud. I got a text this morning from the Eric Ruby saying, you know what? I don't care enough to be on the show today. That's word for word.
He actually probably said, I don't want it.
He said, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
Today, I just don't want it.
He palled me today.
He
said, I'm not that guy, ... pal.
And then you said, excuse me, and he said, sorry, buddy.
No, I just disliked it. That's it. It didn't even warn.
And then he said, sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
That was it.
I said, it's okay, Buster.
Then you got him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Shane, we get to listen and kind of discuss everything that Kenny Dillingham had to say ahead of ASU's spring season. Obviously, we're on the back end. We know everything that he had to say. We got the chance to talk to some of the assistants. Obviously, we'll play that audio for everybody on tomorrow's show, on Monday's show. So definitely a lot of ASU football ahead. But before we get into everything that Dilly had to say, just what were you able to take out of the 30 minutes that we got to spend with ASU's head coach yesterday?
Just that it's good being able to take time away from not just football, but like ASU, and then being able to come back to it. Like, and you just kind of, when I was there, I was like, oh, this feels good.
Yeah.
Like, it just, Kenny's such the right guy for this job. And that yesterday just kept solidifying that. Yeah, it's so good to just hear him talk about something he's so passionate about, and the thing he's passionate about is something that a lot of fans are passionate about. But yeah, it was good to meet some of the guys that I haven't met yet, Marcus Arroyo, and some of the other staff, and it was good to see a lot of the other staff again. Man. Yeah, just this staff is so great, man. I remember last year being blown away, and it was like, okay, maybe this is just like the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like this staff is great.
No, we spent obviously over an hour talking to Arizona State coaches, assistants, etc.
Talking shop,
and we left. And we were walking out, and I turned to you. I'm like, we're so back.
Yeah.
We're so back. Spring ball is right around the corner, and got the chance to talk with specifically AJ Cooper yesterday, the linebacker coach for Arizona State. And before we even got started, it was like, this is the most beautiful time of the year, right? Like, you get to talk, you get to watch football, you get to really evaluate a lot of these players, whether they are returners, whether they're new guys. And something that I was able to take out of the conversations, not just with Kenny yesterday, but really all the coaches, is it really is a time for them to evaluate themselves, right? A time for them to grow and see how they want to go about this spring season and where they can improve specifically. So I think, again, we touched on it a little bit during yesterday's show. Obviously, the Jaden Rashada news is a little bit of a blow, like a gut punch. But all things considered, they're not totally ruling him out of participating in some drill 7-on-7 type stuff at the very end of spring ball if he's cleared, which I think is a positive.
Yeah, and Kenny mentioned that he's going to be able to do things that aren't on the field, and some innovative things they have in the facilities, which is good. So he's always going to be able to see that. So that's good.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Before we talk about that, Caroline, can I get the one shot real fast? Totri, I want you to look at the TV real fast.
Okay, I'm looking at
Just
TV.
look at the TV.
Well, oh yeah.
No, one shot of me.
I'm like,
Boo, booey.
Oh my gosh, dude. We already did this.
Yeah,
I already gave you your flowers.
I have to publicly shame you.
Also, real quick, Eric, I know you're in the office. Eric, you are being called the Jose Perez of the PHNX Sun Devils show.
That's fair.
Just it is fair. It's absolutely fair.
It's fair.
It is fair. It's fair. It's fair.
Back off.
Yeah. You went to the DR. We don't. It's all good.
Yep.
It's all good.
You made your bed in the Dominican. You have to go sleep in the bed in the Dominican.
It's okay. PHNX Suns, we get it. They're. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I do want to talk about some of the innovative technology that Kenny was talking about yesterday because it is something that I think is really, really unique. And I don't know if a whole lot of people truly understand the lengths that Kenny and really coaches all across the country are trying to go to set their players up for success long-term in terms of being teachers, right? So we know about the VR goggles. We know that teams and players specifically at the quarterback position will have those in little teaching moments in their position rooms, whatever.
Yeah.
But ASU has gone and they have literally in one of the position rooms, it is now a 30-yard or 30-foot screen, right? And they have it to they film with what, a 360 or a 180 camera,
probably,
where the quarterback can go up to the room or the coach can go up to the room, and you are literally seeing what you would see on the field, and it makes it easier to teach not only just that one quarterback but the entire room.
And what I loved when Kenny was talking about it is he gave kudos to ASU's biology department.
Yeah,
because he was talking about how innovative technology can be used to, further implement certain plays and just the game situations. Because for a guy like Jaden who can't practice,
it's important.
In full pads, this is the next best thing. And Kenny was like, I want to take stuff from the school. I want to take stuff because our biology team is learning in 360. And he paused. He was like, they're learning in 360. And he is genuine excitement. He's like, that is awesome. And I want our kids to be able to learn like that as well. So yeah, he's going to new lengths. And it was funny when he was talking about it, he mentioned how I wanted to do this last year, but there were a lot of other things that had to be taken care of before then. So it's good to see him innovating at a school that loves to innovate, but also it's the care thing again. It just feels so good.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Right. And I think, again, something that we talked a lot about in the offseason was how difficult it is to be a head coach in college football with NIL, with the transfer portal. And you actually asked Kenny yesterday, just in terms of what he actually learned over the course of the year in realistically another full offseason. Before we get to what Kenny had to say, what were you able to pull from that answer?
A lot, man. He hammers home the honesty point over and over again, but he's just so unapologetically himself all of the time. He's so genuine, and I think the kids know that. And it's a refreshing take on the transfer portal, and you'll be able to hear what he says. But it's refreshing.
Yeah,
I think that's the number one thing.
Most definitely. This is what Coach Kenny Dillingham had to say about what he learned another year navigating the transfer portal.
Honesty. You better be brutally honest with dudes. It's what I've always believed in, but it's definitely what I've learned is you only want the kids in your team who want to be here. You don't even convince a kid to stay. I don't have conversations trying to convince kids to stay. I say, congratulations, I'm rooting for you, but it's a privilege to be here. And I don't care what changes in college football. These are still guys that are in college football living out their dream. Right? It is a privilege. They are living literally what they dreamt about when they were 8 years old, 7 years old. That is still a privilege, and you better respect that. And I want people in this program who love this, want to be here with a passion every single day.
That is so awesome. Just the biggest point for him is to not intrude on their dreams. He is doing a job, they're living their dreams.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. He's like, if they need to go further their dreams somewhere else and they feel like that's the best choice, then let them do that.
Yeah.
And it's another part of the answer of him just I asked him, how do you retain kids these days? What do you do to retain kids? And he said,
I don't really.
He said, I don't. I don't try to retain kids.
Yeah.
If they want to leave, they can leave. I'm not gonna But that's why so many people didn't transfer, because he didn't feel like he had to retain kids.
Yeah.
They weren't looking to leave.
Those are
he's
the
gonna
type
be
of guys that he wants to get here initially already.
And quite frankly, the guys that do leave were probably told that they should.
Yeah.
And not in a way that he wants to hurt their feelings, just like, hey man, I want the best for you. You're probably not going to get as much playing time as you want here.
Yeah. And you look at some of the guys that did leave, right? All very talented players, at least the majority of them, in terms of Jalen Conyers, Jordan Clark, BJ Green, guys that, yes, would have come back and had an impact, but with realistically 1 year left of eligibility, are guys destined for the league. One more year at Arizona State that is trying to build something up. It was probably in their best interest to A, either go get a bag somewhere else, or B, go really put together an NFL tape. And I think a lot of those guys will certainly do that. Another great part of that answer for me, which was kind of a two-parter, because later on in the interview, he was asked about the social media side of things and really going above and beyond, trying to, whether it be retweet, quote retweet, congratulate kids that either enter the portal and found success, or guys that he offers and they go somewhere else, saying that, of course, I'm going to wish them the best. Like, I want them to succeed. Yes, Arizona State is going to do what they're going to do, and Kenny obviously wants Arizona State to be on top of the world, but these two things aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah, the word he used was he's not vindictive.
Yeah.
And he gave the comparison, like, if you leave your job, and he actually gave the comparison to the media. He always draws comparison to the media, and I love it. He's like, if you leave your job right now, like, you shouldn't want your old job to, like, their articles suck. Like, you wouldn't want that. Like, that. How does that make you better? Those things are separate, is what he said. So, and it's true. Like, the man tries to teach life lessons, and I love it.
He's great.
It's so funny.
And for somebody that's like less than 35 years old, I think it's still super interesting that he doesn't spit out hermisms.
No.
Which is great.
Which is easy to do.
Short Bus with an all-time comment. Shane looks like he's headed to Legoland after this.
You use the word all time.
That is an all-time comment. I love that comment.
It's not an all-time,
because it's pretty accurate, I feel like.
No, it definitely is.
Yeah.
But it's not all time.
You look like you invented Legoland.
See, that would be more of an all-time comment. That's a better comment.
So maybe be better, Short Bus. Was that?
Yeah, Short Bus, you need to be better.
Okay, that's absolutely fair. Look, another giant part of the offseason for Arizona State, not just getting players in the transfer portal, but also kind of reshaping some position rooms in terms of coaches, right?
Yep.
We know about the changes with Deron Reynolds along the defensive line, but bringing in a guy in Marcus Arroyo who has so much success collegiately in the NFL, across conferences, to be the new offensive coordinator. This is what Kenny Dillingham had to say just in terms of what the new look offense is going to look like.
Yeah, I think we're going to be able to do more. You know, in year one, when you're banged up like we were, you can't do a lot. And that's not a good situation. When teams can run the ball, but you don't have enough depth to be able, or enough, system knowledge to be able to change up looks like you want to, that's a horrible combination. So I think this year you're going to be able to see us do more creative things on base downs. Third downs has always been the baby, where we run a pro-style defense here, middle closed, to the core, 4 down, get after the quarterback. That's a pro-style defense to its core. Well, we have to be able to now disguise those looks on base downs better, just like we do on third downs at a pretty good level. We have to be able to do that on base downs to protect our calls. And that's where year 2, year 3, year 4 in a system only gets better at those little things that most people won't see. I'm a stacked 30 linebacker versus a 10 linebacker with a 3 technique in front of me. The minor changes of disguises that don't look right to a quarterback that actually give up what you're about to be in. Why are you a 3 with a 30 stacked? Nobody plays defense like that. Somebody's about to move. Like, that disguise doesn't make sense, but those are the disguises in year one. When you can't teach it and show it, and kids don't know it like the back of their hand, that you're showing sometimes, and you're like, man, we can be better at these in year 2, year 3, and that's not just defense, that's offense, that's special team, that's all phases. Where do you put your L1 on a kickoff team? Do you put them as way out on the hash this year, or way out on the sideline this year to disguise it? Do you put them in an L5 position and then let them contain? All the disguises and things that change up looks can now take that step, because the core of our roster knows the fundamentals of what we're doing.
So that was Kenny actually talking about the Arizona State defense and Brian Ward in more of what that unit is going to be able to do. They just, for health purposes last year, it just wasn't really in the cards for Arizona State to truly unlock the defense that they wanted. Now you've got another year. You've got some young guys. You've got guys you added to the portal.
And you have the same system.
You have the same system. You're able to retain, obviously, the position coaches. I know you obviously got a little bit of a different look along the defensive front, but I still think it is so damn important just to have some consistency. Obviously, players, that's something that's talked about a lot in this day and age of college football, but being able to retain coaches that are able to ingrain systems, I think, is so damn important.
Especially our boy B-Ward D-Cord.
Yeah.
He's awesome for this program, and his defenses are really fun. And we saw some flashes of, even though I would say the talent is pretty comparable this year, maybe a step up a little bit. But you did lose some big pieces in the portal and to graduation. You lost Ro Torrance, you lost Jordan Clark, you lost some bigger pieces on the defensive side. But you saw flashes last year of, holy shit, this team can be good.
Yeah.
National champion contender Washington was held to no touchdowns.
Yeah.
For that game. That's
crazy.
Ridiculous. This defense is great. And I mean, we can get into this now. We're going to be talking about it a lot tomorrow. But guys, there are some exciting pieces on this defense. I was talking to Brian Carrington yesterday, and his eyes are lighting up when I asked him about some of his corners. That corner room he's talking, or he's coaching and being so close with Plas Johnson, who is a guy who can play wide receiver or corner. He's like, no, that's ours. He's not playing corner, or he's not playing receiver.
Wow.
We're not going to let him play receiver.
He's a young guy too.
Yeah, he's going to play corner, and that's it. And this is the most exciting part. Ed Woods, who's expected to be the CB1 this year, the number one corner, the outside guy. The only thing that you could really point out about his game last year was his size.
Yeah.
165. You could see he was a true 165. He's 185 now, guys. He put on 20 pounds of weight, and and I've never seen, BC gets excited, but he was Jews talking about him. He's so excited to watch him play. I mean, that guy already hit hard for his size.
Yeah.
Holy. And he's 6'1", I think. That's scary.
I think, again, not only the hit aspect of it, right, bringing the boom, but I think in terms of what that does for Arizona State, loading a box, it allows them to be a little bit more versatile. And I think that's probably something that, conversations were had. I'm sure it was something that Ed Woods saw last year of, hey, how can I improve my game? He knows he's not growing vertically anymore.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me go hit the weight room. Let me put on 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle this offseason so that I can be a force in the run game, so that it is harder for wide receivers to release. That is something that, again, when you add 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle that people don't talk about, they're like, oh, he's just bigger. He can hit harder.
Yeah.
But you're CB1, you're going against guys now in the Big 12 that are very talented, big wide receivers. Yeah. That absolutely helps when you are press coverage and you are trying to lock down an opposing wide receiver, not just a guy like Ed Woods, but staying in the secondary. Yeah. Terrence Welch has been one of my favorite incoming transfers coming from LSU. It's something that BC and I believe AJ Cooper, Brian Ward, when we were sitting down talking, just in terms of a guy that was going against, the best wide receivers in the nation, practice over practice. Yeah. That's so huge.
BC, we were talking about that yesterday. He was he has great tape against Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah. A first-round wide receiver.
Yeah. This defense is great. And I forget who Donald brought up in the chat, Chris Johnson.
Another one.
His eyes were lighting up about Chris Johnson. They got some really good freshmen coming in the secondary. And not to mention the two freshmen that were insane last year. Keith Abney is going to be a huge part of this team for the next 3 years. And obviously Montana Warren, but Keith Abney BC kept talking about Keith Abney's off the field and how great he is. He said he probably has the highest GPA on the team.
It's crazy,
which is awesome. So they got some, and that goes to what the whole the whole base of this team is. It's that Kenny believes in. It's recruiting good people.
Yeah,
and I think they do that. And I think it works. And I think it's going to continue to work.
That DB room is going to be a room to definitely watch in the spring because the position battles are going to be absolutely insane. I think, again, talking with Brian Ward, bringing up that nickel corner spot, he was talking so much about, that's a spot that obviously Jordan Clark filled, and he was so talented. But you're able to bring in a guy who is a little bit bigger in a Cole Martin, both weight and vertically. And he's like, you know what? You don't normally go out and recruit just nickel corners, but this is a guy that can he can slide in, he can slide out, he can do everything that you want him to do. Call him the unicorn, but he's going to be competing with Keith Abney for that spot. So it's not a foregone conclusion, right? And that's what you want to see. And that's what really great college football programs have is, yes, you've got blue chip guys, but those blue chip guys are going against talent that you've already brought in that are competing. And I think that's the recipe to success for Arizona State. And I think the recipe for success for everybody at home is probably to have a bank that you can trust.
Yeah.
Right?
You need that.
You do. And we're talking about Desert Financial Credit Union, guys. They have been doing this for a long time. 84 years. Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union, dedicated to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and providing financial solutions that make lives better. They have it all. They're offering financial solutions tailored to helping real people achieve their financial goals and dreams. You guys can look to DFCU for checking and savings accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and so much more. Now is the time to show your ASU team spirit, of course, right ahead of ASU spring football. Open a free checking account online and get $200 plus your choice of 3 Arizona State University Visa debit cards. Go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started.
Yeah, you got to be like Stevie Mitchell on Marquette right now and just go up strong.
Is Marquette cooking right now?
They're coming back.
Were they down?
Yeah, they were down big.
Really?
Yeah, to Western Kentucky, the
Wow.
Hilltoppers. Go Hilltoppers. Shout out Bailey Zappi. All-time, this is your now 6-month reminder, all-time leading passer in college football history, Bailey Zappi.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That is absurd to me.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
I
I didn't
swear
know
I've
that's
said that on
that.
the show like 4 times. Yeah, I'm going up strong. My phone right here. I'm going up strong, and I went up strong yesterday.
You did.
And I gave a pump fake, and I got fouled, and I hit the and one, and then I got a steal on the inbounds pass, and I made 100 beans on Prize Picks. Right now, I think you can still get it. When does the Iowa game tip? Caitlin Clark's entry is discounted to 0.5 points.
Oh, wow. It's free.
So yeah, it's literally free.
Literally free.
And I made an entry, a 3-pick entry, with
Her.
let's see, Terrence Shannon Jr. Over more 24 and a half points. What was the other one? Let me pull it up because I did win. Do you like Prize Picks?
I love Prize Picks. I love Prize Picks.
KJ Simpson more than 18 and a half points. He had 19.
That was
scary.
Also, he's a bucket.
And then Caitlin Clark, just need that to happen. That game tips tomorrow at noon.
Okay.
So you can still get in on the action on Prize Picks. It just makes everything so much more fun. Obviously, there's a lot of fun things to do during March Madness with brackets, but Daily Fantasy is such a fun thing, and it's really simple to play. Prize Picks is so easy. I can make my picks and submit my entries in less than 60 seconds. And if you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 in just a few taps. I've had great experiences on it. I know you will. For example, all you got to do, like the Suns play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. And you can just look at like Kevin Durant's. You got to, if he's totals 28 points, Kevin Durant for more than 28 points, Trae Young for more than 10 assists. And that's all you got. That's all you need to do. Go to prizepicks.com/PHNX. Use code PHNX for a deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/PHNX. Use code PHNX. Pick more, pick less. It's just that easy.
They got it all. They got it all. Getting it back to Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State football. For anybody that hasn't already, again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Do this 5, sometimes 6 days a week over here at PHNX. Not just us on the PHNX Sun Devils show, obviously. Our rivals over at PHNX Wildcats, PHNX Suns, Diamondbacks, Coyotes, Cardinals, so much more here at PHNX. So stay locked in on our YouTube 24/7. Turn on those notifications because odds are somebody's live, somebody's giving you the latest with Arizona sports. But as it relates to Sun Devil football, there are a bunch of new transfers, of course, freshmen, regardless. Everybody wants to talk about. Everybody's excited to see when we get out there next week for spring football. But there are 4 guys specifically that didn't really get to play last season due to injury, NCAA reasons, and now they are going to hit the field, and it is going to be exciting. Guys, this is what Arizona State coach Kenny Dillingham had to say about 4 guys that are really going to make a difference this season.
I mean, if you look at, we signed 4 guys last year that I felt were really plus players that didn't play. And those guys aren't really talked about. I mean, you mentioned 2 of them. The other 2 are Jordan Tyson and Ben Coleman. You know, those are 4 really, really good football players that technically we just signed from the transfer portal that are only going to play from this year. So you kind of added 4 bonus players to your roster that people aren't going to talk about that are pretty good players. I think it's exciting to get those 4 guys back, and really, Jordan played at the end of the year, but it was just to get him over the knee injury. You got to get live reps and do it. So it was more just to get him over that mentally. That way, going into the offseason, he felt like, okay, everything medically is good. I've played in a game. I've tweaked it in a game, and it made me scared. Part of it, you're fine. Now you can go into the offseason and really know you're fine. So that was all part of the plan with Jordan, even when we signed him, was we weren't going to rush you. We kind of knew 3 of those guys weren't even going to play last year, kind of banking on them to play this year.
Dude, you talk about a stacked room. We talked about the corners. Good golly, Miss Molly. That wide receiver room is insane.
Yeah, and they get 2 guys that didn't play last year.
Exactly. Yeah, but there's a lot of pieces, and yeah, there are some guys that didn't play, but there are also some guys that played very little that are gonna get the chance to play a lot this year. Another guy that he was talking about and that we were talking about, and I was talking to BC about, is Xavier Alford.
Yeah,
holy smokes, that guy
he's a difference
is
maker.
So ready to play.
He's a difference maker.
He's so ready to play. He's hungry. He's almost as hungry as Luke Hunger. Shout out Northwestern.
And it's funny you bring up Xavier Alford, because again, you spoke to some of these assistants. I spoke to really the other half of them. We were tag teaming it. So when you could talk to BC and he can bring up Xavier Alford, and I can talk to AJ Cooper and he's bringing up Xavier Alford again, neither one of them, neither one of those are really Xavier Alford's position coach. Brian Ward is the position coach for the safeties.
Yeah.
So I know, again, he still works with the DBs, but still to have 2 separate guys.
Yeah.
And I think that really points to just how valuable Xavier Alford is going to be for Arizona State. AJ Cooper brought up that last spring, Xavier Alford looked like a top 3 player on this team.
Yeah.
Didn't even play. Not to mention, you're throwing the chip on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Alford, again, could be one of the best players on Arizona State's defense this year. And he can do it in coverage. He can load the box. He can really do it all for Arizona State. And it's, again, I know we're going to talk about the other 3 guys. Xavier Alford might be the most important piece of the 4 that Arizona State is going to get this season.
I mean, he already played in the Big 12 when Texas was in the Big 12. He just knows. He reminds me a lot of Quandre Diggs. He just flies around the field.
Yeah.
It's hard.
He's a dog. He is a dog. And then one guy that we've had on the show, Ben Coleman. Again, you talk about last season for Arizona State, the injuries to the offensive line. Ben Coleman was a bona fide starter for Arizona State along that offensive line. Had an injury in spring ball, really missed the entire season. You hate to see it. Hell of a dude, hell of a character that, again, we've had on this show. And now you get that guy back. And he's got the experience of playing at the D1 level, played for Cal. You bring him along with all of the other additions, like a Jalen Clem, some of the interior guys, a Joey Sua. Arizona State's offensive line has a serious amount of depth, and now you bring in a guy like Ben Coleman, who, again, all of these guys have a chip on their shoulder now. Ben Coleman's hungry. Yeah,
and before you say, dude, let me finish my thought. This offensive line was good last year. They were just really hurt. And now you're bringing in more pieces, and you should get to an offensive line that's at least solid.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, when we were talking to Saga, he was like, I've never seen anything like that last year.
Yeah.
It was insane. They were dropping like flies. You just got to hope that the injuries stay at a minimal.
No, I mean, look, I think last season, and this might be a stretch, but Saga was talking a little bit about just how, yes, last season hurts, right? To go through what you went through. But the nice thing about having guys along the offensive line, really any position, miss significant time, is those young guys get the opportunity to play in big-time games, to get actual live reps where you can start to see them build a little bit of confidence moving forward as they grow, as they develop. And now Arizona State is in a little bit of a luxurious position because you bring back your starting center in Leaf. You've got guys that were at Washington, again, a national champion runner-up in Jalen Clem. You've gotten Emmett Boley, who's coming back. He was your starting right tackle, didn't play outside of week 1. We're talking about a guy in Ben Coleman. You're bringing guys in like a Joey Sua on top of guys that you're bringing from New Mexico State. You've got Sean Naw, who we didn't talk about.
Say, on top of guys who got experience last year because there were so many injuries that wouldn't have gotten any experience last year.
Bram Walden. There are so many guys along this offensive line now that have experience. They've got confidence.
You just got to keep the consistency.
You got to keep the consistency. And I think, again, this is going to be, you're changing the offense. You just need to have a little bit of stability along the offensive line. You could start to see Scat and some of those other running backs really start to develop a running game.
Scat's going to play left tackle at some point this year.
Stop it. I'm just excited to see what this offensive line can be. You give the quarterback a little bit of time. And that brings us to the two other guys that didn't play for Arizona State a whole lot last season that will immediately have impacts. Jordan Tyson, Jake Smith. You throw them in with a guy like EK, Troy O'Meara, Melquan Stovall. Like, again, there are weapons on this team that people don't talk about.
Yeah, another guy I talked to yesterday was Rashad Samples, who's obviously the wide receiver coach for ASU, and he was like, Jake Smith was the best player on the field sometimes last year. And I mean, man, to have the best player, the best wide receiver on the field, not even be able to play. And again, we'll get into a lot of what they said tomorrow, but one of the questions I asked him was like, obviously it's good to have depth in the receiver room, but how important is it to have such a variety of players?
Yeah.
Like you have a deep threat possession guy like O'Meara, which is huge. You have a guy in Jake Smith that can do basically anything. You have your true number one wide receiver in Badger, and you have, you know, your speed demons like Jordan Tyson. Like it's really important to be able to have such a variety of guys that can do a ton of different things.
Yeah.
And they have that in this room. And this room should be very good.
And that's without even mentioning other guys last season that were growing into their roles or freshmen that are now sophomores. Specifically, I think about a guy that was hyped up a lot last season that probably had a down year in his mind, still coming back from injury, so you probably won't see him a lot this spring, but Xavier Guillory,
Dude.
Right? Xavier Guillory
was
a guy
like the most excited I've ever been for a player coming into a season.
Yeah, and
like,
I mean, you remember that week 1 game? I know it was Southern Utah, but he 5 catches, 70-something yards, and a touchdown, and a phenomenal
the best
touchdown celebration. Like, it almost helps. And I know we talked about it with Jaden Rashada. Yes, it sucks that they're not going to be out there, but you got a guy in Sam Leavitt that you really want to see what he's capable of. You've got a veteran in Trenton Bourget. Navi, who Kenny was really hyping up yesterday. He's certainly going to get some reps.
Very good Madden player.
Like, the best on the team, according to Kenny. Like, it is going to be a time to really develop and see some of these other guys. And it is going to push a guy like Xavier Guillory when he is 100%, being like, hey, man, it's not like last year. It's not like last year where you were going to be wide receiver 2 no matter what. Now you've got a guy, EK is holding down wide receiver 1. You bring back Jake Smith, who was going to be easily in the rotation last season. Troy O'Meara, he really popped off. You know Melquan is a trusted guy. And Short Bus brings up one of my favorite wide receivers in Caleb Black. Caleb Black last season, again, didn't play a whole lot because he was a freshman, but that dude can move. His release is crisp. He's a great route runner, and he is shifty. So the wide receiver room certainly got a boost. And again, now you've got a new OC. You got Marcus Arroyo, who, I'm just going to say it, was one of the best offensive coordinators in the nation when Justin Herbert was his quarterback. One of the absolute best.
Do you think he's an upgrade?
Brother, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
I'm sorry for getting you started.
But look, it is going to be a little bit of a different offense. And Kenny was asked yesterday just how much of it is going to be from last season, how much of it is going to be Arroyo and Kenny's offense. This is what KD had to say.
Yeah, I would say it's about 60-40, 70-30, the verbiage and everything from last year. Obviously having to change signals, once you get signals on tape, people are going to steal your signals. So having to change the signals, change some of the, the verbiage of, you may have called one thing cat last year, now you call it tiger, some stuff like that. But other than that, I would say 60-40, 70-30, somewhere in there. You'll definitely see more under center, more shifts, more motions, some more of that world, which we kind of did at the end of last year. So some of that stuff that we kind of did at the last year, you'll see that more built into what we do as opposed to a reaction to a situation we're in. It'll be a little bit more of kind of what we do and what we build things around this year.
I love the fact that you're getting two guys who clearly have just incredible offensive minds, two football sickos that are now sitting in a room together, and they're like, you know what? Let's make this the greatest offense you've ever seen.
What's so funny is that is a question I asked him. Well, almost the same verbiage. I said, how is it to have like another sicko
Yeah.
to just talk ball all the time. And he was like, yeah, sometimes those conversations turn into longer than conversations that we thought they were going to, because they're just so excited to talk ball. It's awesome.
And I do love the fact you talk about the players, and it's something ironically enough that we talked about with Bobby Hurley in the basketball program. Is we feel like maybe, or at least I feel like there's a little bit of a struggle for Hurley and maybe that coaching staff to really craft an offense around the talent that you have. It's more so of, hey, we have a system. Let's go get guys to actually play in that system versus, okay, this is what we've got. How can we best utilize those guys? And now you look at it, players that we've talked about, an Elijhah Badger, a Jordan Tyson, a Jake Smith. We haven't talked about a Bryce Pierre, a Marcus and Douglas, a Jaden Fortier. You've got a Cam Scatterbu that you bring back, along with a Raleek Brown that can really do it all. He brought up the fact that you're going to start to see maybe some more motions, a little bit more stacked sides. I love the fact that Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham and Marcus Arroyo are going to take that approach, a little bit of what the Miami Dolphins do, and they really get some of those guys moving pre-snapped to confuse the defense and get those guys with a little bit of a head start. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, pre-snap motion, as Clint says, it's where it's at, but it's so good it's unfair.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see change in the game in the next 10 years, and whether it start at the college level or start at the NFL level, they're going to start to outlaw some stuff. Like the running head starts, and I know you're not allowed to go up and down, but they basically
it's a
are.
running head start.
They basically are. So yeah, it is where it's at, and you got to get creative. And Kenny joked about.
Oh my gosh,
I
the
wish
swinging
we had
gate.
this bite. So yesterday, Kenny was asked about recruits or something, and he was like, "You know what? I had a recruit tell me, and this is the craziest
An
thing
offensive
ever.
line one.
An offensive line recruit tell me that one of their coaches said, "Don't go to ASU. Do you really just want to run the swinging gate?" And he was like, "Really? Are we just turning into the swinging gate school? Like we did that one game." It's so good, and yeah, it's so funny.
And mind you, they won the game.
Yeah,
like against the UCLA defense with how many guys that are going to go first round?
Yeah, and what he broke down was like, look, man, you got to do what you need to do to win games. If that means trying to catch them off guard and getting a busted coverage, then you do that. Like if that means doing something unique, you do that.
Yeah.
And Kenny's offenses are so fun. And it's going to be really fun to watch next year.
I'm not going to sit here and say that Arizona State has a Tyreek Hill built in this offense where they have a guy that truly is the fastest in the league. But you look to two guys in a Jordan Tyson and a Raleek Brown that have that speed element to what they do that you could see pre-snap. Like they are certainly going to be threats for Arizona State.
And blank out his name, transfer from USC.
Offense?
Yeah.
Raleek Brown.
Raleek Brown. I thought you were
Raleek.
talking about the freshman, Caleb Black.
Yeah, Caleb Black, another one. Yeah, like there is a lot of speed on this offense. More speed, definitely, than there was last season. It would have helped, clearly, to have Jordan Tyson, but I think you get through last season of the, we're 3-9. We're not seeing guys play, to now it's like, hey, guess what? Jordan Tyson didn't play last year.
Yeah.
Jake Smith didn't play last year.
Yeah.
And they've got those extra years of eligibility, and you know just how talented they are. Arizona State is certainly going to be fun. Again, this is not the only time that we're going to be talking spring football. This is just Kenny Dillingham. We're going to hear from the offensive assistants tomorrow, defense assistants on Monday. We've already got all that sound. We're just making sure we can craft the best show possible for you, the same way that Circle K crafts the best possible deals at every single location. Guys, we're going to talk about Inner Circle, the new free membership program that Circle K has, where they're helping you save money on everything. Save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, and if that's not enough, they're going to help you save 3 cents per gallon every single day after that, and get every 6th free on a selection of Circle K products, pizza, coffee, ice cold fountain drinks, and more. We were on the show yesterday. We had the little ghost, like it's like a juice, like not Prime, but they have Primes. They got everything. Yeah. They've got everything that you can possibly imagine at Circle K. Snacks, drinks, vibes, deals. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
Yep. And, sometimes betting on the March Madness feels like you're just throwing money at the lottery. And you're like,
sometimes.
Please.
Yeah.
But Arizona Lottery doesn't even feel like the lottery.
No.
It just feels like they're going to win some money. Because it's great. And if you haven't done anything with the Arizona Lottery yet, you should, because they got a new ticket and promotion called the Arizona Adventure, and there are 3 ways to play and win big. Play Arizona Adventure Lottery tickets featuring 3 iconic landscapes, Picacho Peak, Monument Valley, and Camelback Mountain. And these tickets have prizes up to $50K. You can also check in at geolocated adventures at 10 destinations across the state, from Flagstaff to Yuma. You check in on their website or enter the tickets online for a chance to win $1 million in Arizona cash and travel prizes. Visit azadventure.com for details and directions. The Arizona Lottery is not just about playing games and winning prizes. It is also about giving back to the state and the communities. Visit azadventure.com for more information on how to take an adventure for a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes.
Love it. Love Arizona Lottery. Love Circle K. Love all of our sponsors. I love Arizona State football.
I love you.
I love you too. You hear Mac?
I know.
Just laughing. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay? I also love Friday for so many reasons.
Because
but
it's Flavoring Friday.
It's Flavoring Friday. Oh my goodness. My goodness, Shane. I can't believe you just you helped me, man.
Yeah.
You helped me. Guys, I've been meaning to tell you. The entire show, I've been meaning to tell you. Thank you, Shane, for pointing that out. It is a Flavoring Fridays, guys. Shout out to OG's Brands, the official sponsor of Flavoring Fridays. Head on over to ogsbrands.com to see their full lineup, including their 2 newest gummies, the OG's Naturals and the Big OGs, and find out where you can purchase. But I also love Fridays.
Yeah.
Because it's... Tell me.
It's the best time to live bet New Mexico right now because they're down 17 and you can get some value.
It is also hot or not.
Yes.
It is also hot or not. So, DJ Caroline, I'm going to put you on the spot the same way I put all the producers on the spot. I know Shane doesn't like this very much, and you gotta do a delicate dance here, Caroline, because you are an intern. Who at this company has been hot this week?
Hot this week?
Yes.
Honestly, this is my first week with Shane, and he's made me laugh a lot, so I think I got to give it to Shane.
I mean, that's fair.
What?
Who, no, don't even acknowledge
best
Mac.
outfit of the day, I have to say.
Best outfit of the week,
Go
I would
Sports.
argue.
Easily.
Who has been to quote Danielle, who's been ugly this week in the office?
Is that what that means?
Well, who's just been not hot this week?
Not hot this week?
Who could be better?
Why did we do this?
Yeah, I was going to say, as an intern, this is like the worst question you could ask.
I know, but I really want to put you on the spot here.
Everyone's hot. It's been amazing all week. Final answer.
So you get bad answers like that when you ask bad questions.
I mean, Danielle, Jacob, they've given me answers.
Yeah,
on
but
this.
they're not interns.
That's fair. I guess
I
that's
walk
fair.
a delicate line.
Yeah.
The delicate dance.
The delicate dance.
You might say.
All right. What is topic numero uno?
Number 1, from Jacob, ice fishing.
Ice fishing is so hot.
No
Ice
way.
fishing just feels like a vibe. Like an absolute vibe. Sitting in an igloo with your boys
Yeah, but
or girls.
But you got to be cold.
You don't have to be.
You do. It's ice
Layer
fish.
up, my dog.
Dude.
Layer
stop.
up.
No.
What?
Layers don't fix the cold.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. They do.
What?
They do not. They do not. They do not.
What?
What's the coldest temperature you've been in?
Sub-zero.
And layers help you?
Yes.
Bullshit.
Dude, if you
Bullshit.
wear like 5 layers,
No.
you're fine.
No, you're not fine.
Yes, you
in
are.
Sub-Zero. No, you're not.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not.
A heater?
Also, why is ice fishing hot when you could just go fishing in normal weather with the boys?
Because you don't get to cut a hole in the ice.
So it really is just cutting holes in ice for you?
Yeah.
That's what gets the job done?
Yeah, that's awesome.
No. Ice
'Cause-
fishing, not hot.
Plus, there's more mystery involved.
With the
You can
types of
see-
fish?
You can see less. And there's unique fish. Like, look, man.
Oh, no. Laptops hit
You're
the
not
table.
seeing straight blow. Oh, I got a trout. It's like, no, you caught something. You can't see it until it's right there. And you know what? You're not pulling it up by a. You're going like this. Yank. You're yoinking.
Yeah, you're yoinking.
You're yoinking hard. 2-hand yoink.
Yeah.
Yoink.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. On that note, ice fishing is not hot.
Have you ever gone?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No, but I want
Okay.
to.
Well, where would you go ice fishing?
Somewhere cold? Canada? Alaska?
Yeah, ice fishing not hot for so many reasons because you can. It's just a worse version
We're going
of fishing.
ice fishing.
It's just a worse version
We're
of fishing.
going ice fishing, and you're going to be like, you know what?
This is as mid as I thought.
The people that made igloos also made a great thing, and that's ice fishing.
I think igloos were probably a cool invention.
Igloos keep you warm, you know that?
So do layers apparently.
Yeah. Igloos and layers keep you warm. Chet,
Not hot.
cook this man.
Not hot. Sharon says not. Fishing is not hot. Sitting on ice while fishing is not hot. She
you
just doesn't like
Do
fishing.
you like fishing?
I like fishing in general. Yeah, I think that's fine. I just don't like being cold while I do it. It's
You just don't like being cold.
I'm not a cold guy, man.
Yeah, I'm not a cold guy either.
You're not. You're not.
Cold sucks.
Cold does suck, but you love ice fishing apparently.
Well, if you're bundled up and you got protection,
You're bundled up now.
you're bundled up. If you're bundled up and you're sitting down and you're like The wind is really what kills you.
The wind
and if
does
you're
kill
in an
ya.
igloo, there's no wind.
But what if you don't have the luxury of being in an igloo?
Then you're not ice fishing.
Light a fire in an igloo.
Then don't ice fish. Stop ice fishing. You know people take their layers off inside of igloos because it's so warm. It's so warm.
You know a lot about ice fishing.
I know a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What's topic number 2, Caroline?
Glass slippers.
Like Cinderella?
Up to
Like not the
interpretation.
figurative, like not a figure of speech, like actual glass slippers.
Either or.
I think.
No, we need to pick one.
I think we go let's go with
The
the physical
physical
shoe.
glass
Yeah,
slipper?
They don't look
glass
comfortable, so I'm
slippers.
gonna go not hot. I'm a very functional outfit guy.
You are I mean,
Like
clearly.
this outfit's functional.
Yeah, that's
It's-
Legoland-esque.
It's comfortable. Oh, also,
Oh, we're taking buttons off.
Layers. These are layers.
should
yeah,
have to
these are
pay-
these are layers.
You should have to
sweetheart.
pay for this content.
These are layers, sweetheart.
What do we got here? No way you just sweethearted me, Buster. I want to believe in it's a unicorn.
Mhm.
Holy shit, it's Cole Martin on your shirt.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I want to believe, and I want to believe in a team like UNM who needs to come back from 15. down.
So you think glass slipper's not hot?
No, because it's like
On any occasion?
They also like. Oh, it depends. No, it doesn't depend because there's no way they're comfortable. There's zero chance.
Yeah,
they're
but people
comfortable.
wear things. Tuxedos look great. Are you comfy in a tuxedo?
Yeah, usually.
You are a weird guy. You know that?
No, dude.
Just
Are suits
different.
comfortable?
Are different. No, suits are not comfy.
If you get one that fits really well and you don't have to worry about like ripping shit, like they're great. The suit
feel
I
like-
wore to Gerald's wedding, I was so comfy. I was so comfy that I was able to like unbutton and whoop whoop.
You
Do
did do
those.
that. You did do that.
Yeah, and I was comfy doing it. My shoes, comfy.
But glass slipper? Not even the right occasion?
No,
I think glass slippers are hot. I think glass slippers are hot. I think the right occasion, they just again they can send a fit. They can
heels.
send a fit.
Heels, like, do you like? You should be able to like feel confident and look good for sure.
Yeah.
But like, if like I don't know if I could do that, and that's props to people that wear heels.
No, absolutely.
Because
I could never wear heels.
I wore shoes that were a little too small for me, and they were leopard print shoes, and I was just trying to be flashy, but they hurt my feet, and I was like,
but you
can't do
look
this
good.
But I don't care that enough. I don't care enough because I was like, I'm uncomfortable.
You're like Eric. You just don't care enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. What's topic number 3, Caroline?
Number 3 is invisibility.
This is tough because there's
It's not though.
there's a moral compass here.
The moral
Well, there is
compass
a moral
is what
compass,
it
of
hurts.
course. With all superheroes, do you want to be a villain or do you want to be a hero, man?
Well, still,
What about the Robin Hood take?
What's the Robin Hood take?
the Robin Hood take. See that? Well, the Robin Hood take is a much more different moral compass than invisibility because invisibility is very selfish. Like you could
What's
like
selfish about it?
it's literally only for you. You're only using availability for yourself. You're like, I want to disappear. I want to do this. I. Robin Hood is like you to we. Rich man, poor man, money. That's what the Robin Hood take is. I'm gonna steal.
Sorry, is it hot or not, Jake?
I don't know. I'm talking myself through it.
I think invisibility is hot. I think most superpowers are hot. Now, again, there is a moral compass of how you use your invisibility. But I think for the most part, we can. I'm not going to sit here and assume that most people would use it for good.
Yeah,
I would use it for my own selfish purposes.
There's a lot of things that I use every day that I could use for bad. My platform, which is huge, massive. I'm a superstar. I could use it for bad every day.
You could,
But I choose not to. I choose to use it for good and pushing the ideology that igloos and ice fishing is hot. Now, somebody might use again my superstar status as
your superstar status.
yeah, as in ill will.
Yeah.
I choose not to. If I were to use invisibility, I would use it in only ways that I thought were correct and morally right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm gonna go hot.
I would like to.
There are a lot of things.
I would like to ask a follow-up question with invisibility here. Is this like the invisibility where you have to be like butt naked to like be invisible, or like can I use invisibility?
How would that work?
It's just your clothes also go invisible.
How would your clothes go invisible?
Because I'm invisible.
Hmm.
It's touching me, so
That
it's
would be
invisible.
so weird.
To have to.
I don't like that.
But it's a valid question. It's a valid question.
No, what I'm saying, and it is a valid question, and I'm giving the answer that I think that's weird. It's weird.
Yeah,
to think about.
it'd be weird. It'd be weird, but it's yeah. I mean, I think it's hot. I think invisibility.
Like, are you truly invisible? Or are you like that invisible where it's like shiny? You know what I'm talking about? When it's like, if you look hard enough, you can tell there's
Yeah,
an
you can see
invisible
like squiggly, like you can see the air move type
Yeah.
thing. No, these are all really great questions that I don't think Jacob was prepared for. But I think invisibility's hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hot. Chat, hot. not.
Let us know. In the meantime, do us a solid. Open up another tab while you keep us open. Head over to gophnx.com today and click on that Die Hard tab and see everything that you're going to unlock when you become a PHNX Die Hard. Obviously, you are going to get exclusive Die Hard. You're going to get exclusive Die Hard
Make
content.
sure to go to gophnx.com.
You're going to get a discount on merch, discount on events. You are going to
come
get
to our tea party tomorrow. Going to be so fun. We hit the balls.
Discord. Would you like to tell everybody about the PHNX tea party?
Go to the tea party. Go to gophnx.com events tab. You can buy a ticket for an entire bay or individual ticket. And Suns watch party, Suns watch along, free prizes, win monies, not monies, win prizes from our sponsors. Hey Max, come over here. Adman Max coming over here to tell you about what you can win at tea party if you win prize. What can you win?
I don't know. You tell me.
You're our sponsor guy. What are we giving away tomorrow?
Whoa, you just kind of broke character.
What are we giving away tomorrow, Max?
Let's see. You can win.
Mather, baby.
First 50 people. Oh yeah. First 50 people get free sombreros.
First 50?
First 50.
Wow.
First 50 people getting free sombreros. Let's see. We also are having Cookies & Co. come through with multiple gift cards.
What do you get if you win one of challenges?
Get to win one of the challenges. You can win. Rad Golf is going to be there with a couple prizes valued at $200.
You can win a couple $100 prizes.
Yes.
What is behind door number 2, Max?
There's like 3 doors I just gave you.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Well, on that note, guys, do us a solid again. Hit that like button. Hit the
Short Bus,
subscribe
what shirt
button.
did you get?
If you haven't already, leave a 5-star review and give us a follow on social at PHNX Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. Caroline, where can everybody follow you on social media?
My Twitter is Caroline KLLY because there's too many Caroline Kellys out there.
There you go.
So I had to cut out some vowels.
Love
Follow
it.
along.
You could also follow Big Pokey at Shane D.
Just giving out certified winners as always, as Kentucky's RIP Kentucky, as UNM is on a 7-0 run. Since I said since I live bet them,
Things you
and
love
told you to live bet the 7-3 run. It's not as impressive. Not as impressive now.
Ooh. Yeah, you can't acknowledge the success. Also, guys, we will have a show for you Saturday, so definitely stay locked in on social media. Going to be talking from the Arizona State assistant coaches, so definitely tap in.
Talking from them?
We're talking from them.
Whoa.
We are going to be hearing from them. Yeah. Thank you, Shane.
And talking to them.
There you go. In the meantime, go Devils and peace.
Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.